Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. We welcome you to check out evolutionaryenergyarts.com in case you've never gone to the website.
It's right there, and there's a lot of really good stuff on there, especially if you haven't heard of a lot of the things we do. There's an educational page there for you.
Yes, with some links to give you more information. And of course, over on Patreon, we invite you guys there. There are exclusives there each week. There was exclusives 2 out of the last 3 days. This was the very last one. Looking at the hybrids of the underworld and everything that's going on. A lot of what you see going on the surface is all about what goes on underneath the surface. And meanwhile, the death toll from the earthquake in Myanmar has surpassed 1,000. Some sources are saying it could end up getting into 5 digits. This was a very, very large quake, 7.7. And it affected a very, very huge, extensive area. We, of course, send our prayers to everybody involved in the research and in the search and rescue.
Yeah, continuous prayers, continuous energy. People need it.
Absolutely. We talk about Christoph Joukowsky a lot, and he absolutely pegged this a year ago, May 20th, 2024. He talked about a vision, and he sees a very big city. I'm in a very big city, and there are skyscrapers, and the skyscrapers are beginning to collapse and come down. And when, he says either collapse or get very damaged. And when he looks, he sees big panic in a big city. Could it be an earthquake? And then he also even says it looks to be in Asia. I'd say it's in Asia. I mean, he hit it dead on. And I can't tell you what time or how many times he's done this. He's hit things dead on time after time after time.
He's very good, and he feels extremely authentic when you watch him. Everything comes from a good place.
Yeah, absolutely. I do think he's just looking to help people. So, things that he's seen for this year is a smaller economic dip, and then a big one. The big one coming this year, as well as the potential for Middle East war. This is pretty wild, and this is showing the waves of energy from this traveling through Europe. The red shows uplift and the blue is lowering. So you could see this literally caused a ripple effect all through Europe. It was a huge quake. And meanwhile, here you go. This is J.D. Vance in Greenland talking about Canada and Greenland. And basically, they're going to have to join the U.S. It's kind of like one way or another, it appears.
There's been some retaliation, some signals at least in the media that Canada's going to respond, some of these others are going to respond to the president's tariffs. What's your message for Americans that are going to see cost increase on auto manufacturing, new cars, that kind of thing? Is it Buy America, or what's the message going forward there?
Well, let me say a couple of things. First of all, for the Canadians, and we have many dear friends in Canada, and of course we love the Canadian people, but the Canadian leadership threatening retaliatory tariffs against the United States, as President Trump often says, they just don't have the cards. There is no way that Canada can win a trade war with the United States. What President Trump has said is that he wants to level the playing field.
So there you go. They don't have the cards. And then also talking about, as he was in Greenland, he was talking about Greenland joining the U.S. and the fact that Denmark hasn't guaranteed security for it and done enough. As you could see, when we're talking about the Arctic Circle and you look at Canada and Greenland and Russia over on the other side, this is definitely all about controlling the Arctic Circle and whatever resources are going to be there, as well as what if a hot war breaks out between the NATO countries and Russia. Again, control of the Arctic is going to be key.
This is just something, it's not quite up my alley. I don't fully understand it, but I do know that people should be ready and have backup.
Yeah, it's definitely it seems to be in the cards, and again, we just hope that people wake up and say no. And it's again the ripple effect of people standing up and saying, we understand what's going on. We understand this is all about money and control and economics and profits from the war. And again, also allowing things to get put into place when it comes to laws. And, when you're in that type of wartime scenario, there are so many things that aren't looked at or they're not regulated. And here you go. Zelensky rejects new mineral draft that would recognize U.S. support as loans. So he says he won't recognize that. You also have Russia saying they can't talk to an illegitimate government, which, they're calling the Zelensky government. I don't know. Is it because he wears tights? Maybe. Hey, or it could be the fact that he's an actor.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then they're all actors, really, when you get down to it, the whole geopolitical situation. Well, here you go. Governor Tate Reeves of Mississippi, they did it. They just eliminated income tax. This is great. And so more and more states in the United States are eliminating income tax. We're hoping that, it'll be done at a federal level. In fact, there's a lot of people wondering if this is what April 2nd's about. As, there's been a lot of talk about April 2nd and a Freedom Day. That would be wonderful. Meanwhile, Utah just became the first state in America to ban fluoride in its water. It is a neurotoxin after all. People are finally waking up to the fact that, a lot of things that the CONS piracy theorists have been saying have been damn spot on. So if you are one which is watching this channel regularly, you've probably been right more than you've been wrong when it comes to a lot of these issues.
Well, yeah, I mean, hormone disruptor, neurotoxins, and it really causes a problem.
Yeah, and again, they're banking on the fact that people are just not swift enough to see what's happening before their very eyes. Oh, that's just simply condensation caused by, different weather. Then why does it turn on and off? It's just they just lie through their teeth, and they use, again, all the major corporations to, push forth their agendas. And now you got 31 states with bills to stop something they tell us doesn't exist, even though, again, there's so many declassified documents that say it does exist. Again, 31 states, so we passed the halfway point. Even New York has introduced a bill to ban geoengineering. So here you go. The tide is changing, and we need to full court press this. There is definitely something weird going on in Harris County, Texas. This is in the greater Houston area. You have 4 current and former Harris County sheriff's officers that have decided to leave the world on their own. What's going on there? It just smells like a cover-up to me, but that's me. I'm suspicious.
Yeah, I'm a little suspicious as well.
Then South Cambridgeshire is planning to bulldoze a precious orchard of 100-year-old fruit trees to build a 230 million pound green electric busway. This is at the governor's approval stage. Again, there has to be massive change in really the UK, Canada, again, over to New Zealand, Australia. We really need the people to get out and, grab their little soapbox and stand on top and start screaming a little bit louder, because, again, there's so much that is starting to go into a more positive direction, but some countries are still completely under this totalitarian rule that doesn't make any logical sense. And this is a particular federal judge that, it seems more interested in defending gang members' rights than just average, citizens' rights. Well, when you look at it and look at the family members, you recognize that his wife is the founder of a particular NGO, which makes money on a certain thing that can be very, very touchy subject in general. And the daughter works for a 501c3 called Partners for Justice that gives illegal aliens and criminal ones with gang membership legal advice. As we could see, our world's government has been nothing other, in my humble opinion, again, this is just for entertainment purposes, it's probably been absolutely no better and really no different than any sort of mob, mafia, gang, anywhere else.
It's a mess, and you can see where these people, they have some type of advice or understanding from a different place to set up their organizations.
So it's up to the people that are actually still under the payroll to start to question the orders being given. And here you go. This is in Britain. 6 police officers together. Why? Well, because somebody was complaining about their local school in a WhatsApp group. Now, if this was an actual crime, you probably wouldn't see any of them. That's just what we see. This is Orwellian because it's all about protecting the system, which is nothing other than, just another gang, mob, mafia.
It's pretty bad.
It is, and we can't accept it. And so Larry Cook, who has spoke up a lot against the ouchies, says, anybody else finish up their taxes but wait until April 15th to send them in just in case the IRS is abolished between now and then? If you look close enough, you will discover that it shouldn't exist. It should never have existed, and they're going to owe everybody big-time bucks at some point in time. This can't be real, can it? Well, look at what you're eating. Are you eating ramen? What the heck are you eating? Again, steer clear of the processed foods. There definitely will be bugs in just about everything when you get down to the microscopic level. But some of it is just absolutely mind-blowingly gross. And again, there's no nutritional value, truly, in so much of the fast foods. In fact, it looks like people that are on, assistance will perhaps, there's laws going into place to make it so you can't buy soda in some areas I was looking at. And junk food, if you're getting assistance. Can you imagine getting food stamps, but then being told you can only purchase stuff that's actually going to be healthy for you? When you look at life expectancy, there's a direct correlation between the amount of money somebody makes and life expectancy. Because, in the world that we've had, those that don't have as much financial resources have typically not put money into good, healthy, nutritious food, because they feel that they can't afford to, and thus, lower life expectancy, more disease, et cetera, et cetera. Again, everything is going to change. I do think we're watching the beginnings of that change. And, realizing that certain structures on the planet, like what are these? This reminds me of a honeycomb in so many ways. What is this? Some sort of gigantic fossilized honeycomb? I don't know. But again, there's a lot of things that don't make sense from a historical standpoint when we look a lot closer at them.
Oh, shucks. That's just natural formation.
Do you pick up anything on that?
Actually, I keep picking up wood. I don't know.
Oh, okay. So some sort of fossilized tree. I mean, again, it's like Devil's Tower in Wyoming. Really looks like a fossilized giant tree. But then when we think of the fact that, Earth is much bigger than they tell us, and also that it was once part of a much bigger planet, and there's been all sorts of catastrophes and great redos throughout our history, nothing should really surprise us.
Well, it's ongoing, and it's just kind of a journey of awakening for those who are ready right now.
Yes, and you might be a little tired of it all, like this guy. Oh, make sure to take care of yourself, get your rest, detox daily in this world. And as always, guys, we thank you for your support.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.